Well, okay, I promised I was going to do this, so I'm going to deliver. Now, to do this video, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of context before we begin is that this is talking about Chris apparently trying to cook for Jackie. Apparently the idea was to come up with like a spaghetti dinner, I think it was. But what Chris does, I literally had to go back and literally just make a point about this entire, about what's about to come up. Because it's kind of like what I did with the Casey father call, where I did the almost a 3-hour video. No, actually it was almost 4 hours I did trying to make that. But I feel as if like what we're about to see here with the cooking spaghetti dinner, this deserved an entire video on its own. So let's revisit part 32. Here we go.
Stain is gone.
No, it isn't. It's still there.
Stain is gone.
It's sorry, big stain. It's right there, Chris. But I'm not getting. This is not. I'm just gonna skip ahead to the next part because that's not what this is about.
Next, in lieu of an actual cooking video, Chris filmed himself miming making spaghetti.
Oh yeah, in case you're also wondering why he didn't just... Yeah, they said miming spaghetti, but we'll get to that in a second. If you're wondering why he didn't just make a spaghetti dinner, it's because the entire kitchen was so cluttered at this point. Chris straight up says, "I can't move the things. I have no idea where to put them. I have no idea." Well, not in a highly proverbial perverse point of view such as that, but it may as well be because of what. Now what's so that's it. So it's his excuse is that he just can't be bothered to, you know, move some junk about or just, you know, throw it into a bin and, you know, or do anything like that. That's I've had issues for literally months about Chris's not the state of his house, but what's coming up next? He is going to mime cooking. It's if it sounds as bad as it does, you haven't seen anything yet. Just take a peek.
This presentation, I was going to make some spaghetti live in the kitchen. But unfortunately, I don't have access to the stove because Mama put a whole bunch of crap in the way. So, I am going to mime it.
So, my mama put a whole bunch of crap in the way. We're shed out of luck.
Here's the pot. Put it on the stove. Set it to the boiling temperature.
You know what? I'm gonna start this part off by literally giving Chris some credit. It suggests largely that he does kind of know how to cook. Unfortunately, I think as far as, you know, in theory, I think he does. In practice, no. Well, that's not even going to begin to summarize the problems. But okay.
In time, the water's boiling. So we take this pot of spaghetti noodles, put up the pots, and
okay, and also let me just literally from a cooking perspective, let me just go over the few basic credentials. First off, Chris didn't make the pasta. I'm not gonna get into details about making the pasta, but you know, maybe making an effort, maybe in that sense, would impress Jackie with his cooking skills, just as a thought, because I can make pasta. It's not as hard as you might. It's not that hard. Also, I'm going to assume he didn't flavor the water. Yeah, that is a thing that you have to do, and no, I don't particularly think Chris did that. Also, I don't know. Is there anybody out there who calls them spaghetti noodles? I literally just call it spaghetti.
click.
I'm not even sure what he's... Oh, he's just like stirring it. Okay.
Noodles, that's so good.
Again, well, he says noodles. I'm gonna stop being petty about him saying noodles. I'm just gonna say he means spaghetti. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Not something many people not something I would encourage, or many others would encourage, but but they are.
Hey, look at that. Drippy, no stiffy.
Yeah,
I
also
offer you some non-stiff drippy. But it's hot right now, so you might want to wait a while.
again, I'm going to assume just like yeah, no shit, Chris. You're not just gonna immediately eat the spaghetti immediately after it's come out. Also, all drippy, no stiffy. This is not cooking terminology. If Chris went into like one of Gordon Ramsay's kitchens right now and said, "Oi, stiffy, you're not stiffy, you're stupid. Get out." Yeah, he would not last a day in Hell's Kitchen. Putting it out there, if that wasn't obvious already.
Hey, we drain the water out.
Okay.
We get some plates.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. We're serving two.
So again, he doesn't seem to realize he can't. Chris cannot even count to two. That's what this implies, and he just threw a plate away. Yeah, you wonder what's going to happen when he is living on his own, and how long will it take for him to burn the house down again, or at least, or just watch the walls just crumble in around him. You wonder how well this is actually going to go down.
I'm just kidding.
I'm not sure, Chris. I'm not sure if you are. I'm not even sure what he's even doing, to be honest. Is he just... Oh, wait.
We don't want any noodles left behind.
Also, Chris, I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a bit of a tip here. Usually, what people do is they buy colanders and that. There's actually very specific ones you can have for spaghetti, where you put the strands of the spaghetti into the cylinder in the sieve, and literally it just cooks in the pot, and the noodles are cooked absolutely to perfection. When he says he's draining the water, you know what? Could he not just drain the water into the colander, so no spaghetti would have been wasted or anything like that? Is that something that didn't cross his mind while he was busy throwing plates?
We'll rinse that out later. In the meantime, here's a good jar of marinara sauce.
Okay, listen. If you actually went into, let's say, Venice or Carabana or anywhere in Italy and you showed them marinara sauce, they will punch you in the face. Babies, the elderly, even the recently deceased would come and say, "You present to me the sauce, you're an absolute criminal." He can't even say he's using a Domino sauce. When's your Domino day? If you know what that is, I feel sorry for both of us. But yeah, this implies that Chris is not, for the meatballs, he's not even going to cook it in the sauce in a frying pan. He's just going to dump it on top of the spaghetti. That's not a good idea.
There we go, I popped the seal.
Yeah, you don't want to cough on your food, Chris. You don't want to do that.
No. Some grated mozzarella. Oh, I got a pop the seal.
Again, implying that Chris does not own a mozzarella, like a cute block of mozzarella cheese, or just, even a cheese grater. I don't know why I'm making this big a deal out of it, but the idea is that Chris is just gonna buy some pre-made stuff and just put it together. Did it ever occur to Chris that even if we were going to assume that Jackie was real, then maybe Chris would have put a little bit more effort into this? I don't know, I'm just making this point because it never occurred to Chris.
add other spices from my father's collection, which includes rosemary, garlic, parsley, whatever.
Well,
and you can make your own meatballs with processed meat and putting it on a tray.
did he try and like put salt on or anything? I mean, yeah, it's all right to put rosemary and garlic or anything, but if you don't put salt on that, it won't pop. It won't taste nearly as good as that.
Or something, letting it grow and then rolling it all into balls. But they're not so good. Not as good, are they?
Again, Chris implying that, you know, actually making fresh meatballs doesn't taste so good as the processed stuff. Do you reckon Chris has actually ever had, you know, handmade meatballs before? I mean, not stuff just made in a factory.
So what about that? Well, you can buy your own meatballs.
Because
we had this
lazy.
package of Swedish meatballs cooking in the microwave already, so they're warming up already.
Yeah, and when you cook stuff in a microwave, it's going to taste so bland and has absolutely no flavor to it that it's basically going to kill any hope this dinner have of spaghetti literally drowning in cold marinara sauce with just a whole bunch of like herbs and spices just thrown on top of it and just dumping a whole load of cheese on there. That's all this meal is. It's just stuff pre-bought. And all that Chris had to do is do the very basics in putting this together.
And in the end, on at least one of the two plates, you get something like this.
Chris presents a microwave spaghetti dinner on a paper plate.
Microwave spaghetti. Oh yeah. Like if going on a first date and you say, "Hello, darling. I prepared you this dinner. I made it all in a microwave because I'm a cheapskate." Well, why didn't you just make it? Just make it by hand, or at least, oh, there was a bunch of stuff in the way of the stove. I couldn't fucking be asked to move it, so just eat it and just shut up. Actually, speaking of eating, the next point.
So now we can sit down and eat our spaghetti. It is so delicious.
I highly doubt that, Chris, and I don't believe...
It smells so good. You want a bite? Look at this.
Also, again, I'm going to go on the limb here and say that, pre-made microwavable spaghetti and meatballs does not have mozzarella, does not have rosemary, thyme, garlic, anything like that.
You want a bite? Very good. You better take a bite, because you know what? What's this? What's this? You watching?
Chris, again, I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. Whilst your face is completely stained orange by literally dunking your own face into a plate of microwavable spaghetti and meatballs, you may as well should have kept your face down there, Chris, because if I was Jackie or if I was anybody else out there who watched someone did that, I would have fled the country. I would have gone to the other side of the world, because what are you even supposed to say to this? How can you pretend that everything is fine and everything, for the rest of your date was going well when... Let's just go over this again. Well, actually, you know what? I'll wait until the end, but I just want to emphasize this again, because is this the sort of face you want to have children with? Is this the sort of face that is going to convince the world that all the bullying against him was completely unjustified and unwarranted? Is this the face of someone who has not said horrendous things about goodness knows how many people over the years? Huh? Is this what you want?
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't.
Yeah, we know you're just kidding, but you still did it, Chris. I wouldn't do that in real life, but it's fun. Chris, if you wouldn't, this is real life, and you did it. So that means almost nothing.
Do that to you for real life.
His justifications mean nothing. Like, virtually all of his justifications mean absolutely nothing. Because all of them are fueled by the fact that he did something immoral to begin with.
That's fun. Hey, at least my head's not fucking orange. Like a...
You mean it? Well, apart from the time when you almost did it, like a few moments ago. Also, when you literally like clay modeled your own face. No offense, Chris, but I don't particularly think this is a good idea to start judging other people. I just want to say that.
Certain cashy type person I know.
This was followed by Chris's
Okay, so that's technically where I kind of like wanted to end it as far as like the video is concerned, because we've been talking for like nearly 20 minutes about that whole ordeal. And if you remember when I watched this during part 32 in itself, you guys know that I was absolutely dumbfounded by all of this. So just to end this video, let's go through let's do a summary of what has just happened. Somebody asked Chris to make a video in which he cooked a spaghetti and meatball dinner, which is, I don't know, maybe I would have tried doing something like that. He said he was going to mime it because, and his reasons were, his mother had put a whole bunch of crap so that the whole stoves were covered, and I've seen the state of his kitchen. It is apocalyptic. It really, really is. He also said that he couldn't fucking be asked to move any of his stuff because he couldn't even just like put it in a pile, you know, wash, clean, put anything away. I'm convinced he's never ever done any housework before. I am absolutely convinced that if you were to let a kitchen go to that state, Chris is not a housekeeper or even a lodger. He's a squatter in that house of squalor. He is. That's what he is. It's a term we have in the UK, a squalor, which means that you just live in a house and you care nothing for its environment. You don't care for its well-being, its housekeeping, anything like that. Basically, you're just a mouth to feed and to literally scrounge off the resources as much as possible. That's basically what that means. And so Chris, quote-unquote, mimed himself making spaghetti and meatballs. And to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, even if I was to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that technically you do not need to be a master chef to be a competent chef. You could be competent and literally just use stuff just shoving in a microwave. Technically you can do that. However, it if seldom or almost never works. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's just not as good as the real thing. Like, let's say if I presented that friggin' piece of garbage that Chris called a spaghetti and meatball dinner in front of him, and then I presented a Gordon Ramsay delicacy of spaghetti and meatballs with mozzarella, rosemary, thyme, garlic, all that good stuff, and then I presented my spaghetti and meatballs alongside a multi-Michelin star chef and Chris. Out of interest, what would you not want to eat? If you were given those 3 plates right in front of you, which one of those would you not have? Technically, we can't even say it. We can't even call it Chris's stuff. It's Chef Boyardee, and I know what that is. It's like an American sort of like comfort eating sort of thing. It's Chef Boyardee. Well, that is Chris. Chris did not cook anything. He just did. No, he didn't. He really didn't. He mimed it, but he didn't create anything in reality. He freaking put a microwavable dinner in a microwave. That's not cooking. That's putting something in a microwave and clicking a few buttons. That's all he did. He did not do anything. He didn't cook anything. He didn't demonstrate any prowess, any skill, any technique. And then he friggin' dunked his face onto the plate. Now, unless I'm missing something here, ladies and gentlemen, unless I am absolutely at my wit's end and I feel like I'm banging myself against a brick wall, that brick wall right there, But I reckon, ladies and gentlemen, and again, this is entirely debatable. I have a very strange suspicion that I'm not the only person who feels like this just feels like a slap in the face. I'm not the only one who feels like this is the epitome of laziness. I can't. I cannot. We cannot live. I cannot live in this world where we people seem to think that level of just unbearable laziness and ridiculousness is allowed. It should be given any amount of attention, whatever. It's willful suicide. That's what that entire part was of Chris, quote unquote, cooking. It was not suicide in the normal sense. I don't want to kill myself. But intellectually, in terms of the things that I stand for and some of the things that I very highly look up to, that was as close and as near to feeling as if like any and all intellect I had before, anything from my my university degree to my A-levels to my GCSEs to my any and all of my accomplishments now until the day I die. And this, you've got to be a very, very special kind of person to have a documentary made about you. Let alone document the fact that Chris mimed cooking. It's a pity he didn't put his head in the microwave. That would really turn it orange. Right, okay. Now you can sort of like see why I decided to like break that off into a separate video on its own, because we've been going for what, nearly 25 minutes, and I think I've just about got everything off my chest. I've said everything that needs to be said. For God's sake, more bloody fire engine sirens in the. It's becoming once a day, this sort of thing. We even had like a friggin' an air ambulance fly nearly about 100 or so feet close from this roof. It was crazy. So anyway, guys, if you could smell the bullshit that is cooking, that's probably because it's Chris. And I hope to love you guys again in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye for now.